आपके अंदर नफरत नजर आती है मुसलमानों से, वो मुझे नहीं है।
नफरत फैला रहे हो भाई, इतनी सारी वीडियोस बना रहे हो मुसलमानों के खिलाफ और हमको ये समझा रहे हो कि मुसलमानों को और हिंदुओं के खिलाफ, और हमको ये समझा रहे हो कि मुसलमानों को ये नहीं पता, वो नहीं पता। वाह, एक्स मुस्लिम गुलजार भाई।
क्योंकि जो कुरान की आप एक्सट्रीमिज्म की आयतें भक्तों को समझा रहे हैं, वो भक्तों को तो पता चल रही, लेकिन आम मुसलमान को आपको अच्छी तरह पता है इस कुरान की असलियत का नहीं पता।
मैंने कुरान मजीद में से 26 वो विवादित आयतें जो आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा देती थी उनको हटाकर,
क्योंकि मैं भी एक मुसलमान रहा हूँ, मुझे भी पता है कि आम मुसलमान को न लौंडी का पता है न कत्ल का पता है, लेकिन आप भक्तों को बता के उनको खुश करते हैं जैसे हर मुसलमान खून का प्यासा।
रश्मि के पति आसिफ से करीब 1.5 घंटे तक पूछताछ की है। पुलिस ने आसिफ के साथ उसकी दूसरी पत्नी से भी पूछताछ की। रश्मि ने आरोप लगाया है कि आसिफ उस पर धर्म परिवर्तन करने और इस्लाम धर्म कबूलने का दबाव डालता है। जब रश्मि ने इस्लाम धर्म नहीं अपनाया तो आसिफ ने उसके साथ मारपीट की और जहर देकर मारने की धमकी भी दी।
मुंबई
force Hindu girls to convert into Islam in Kerala stands exposed. Times Now has accessed NIA reports that disclose all details of the plot carried out by organizations by Dawa groups. These so-called Dawa squads hunt Hindu girls and mislead them into forced conversions. The report has put notable Muslim leaders under NIA scanner. It's now proven beyond doubt that love jihad is not a concocted fantasy, but
इसकी पड़ताल की हमारे संवाददाता संजय त्रिपाठी ने कानपुर में कथित लव जिहाद की शिकार 3 बेटियों से बात की। सबसे पहले देखिए कानपुर के गंगापुर की रहने वाली एक नाबालिग बेटी की।
कानपुर के गंगापुर इलाके की रहने वाली ये बेटी नाबालिग है, इसलिए हम आपको इसका नाम नहीं बता सकते, लेकिन इसकी कहानी आपको झकझोर देगी।
इसका नाम क्या बताया था?
आर्यन मल्होत्रा।
अच्छा, आर्यन मल्होत्रा बताया। और उसका असली नाम क्या था?
आर्यन फतेह खान।
ये बच्ची गंगापुर में जिस एक कमरे के फ्लैट में अपने परिवार संग रहती थी, उसके ठीक नीचे आर्यन मल्होत्रा नाम का एक युवक रहता था। आर्यन खुद को बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन से जुड़ा पता।
The Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia had divided up stages of Islamic dominance a few years ago. When he did this, it caused quite a stir, but it's not something original to him. It's something we have seen even earlier. He said, so this is on his authority, that there are multiple stages in the Islamic empire. The first is when Muslims are outnumbered. They are to live peacefully. But those are the three that are commonly used to defend the peaceful nature of Islam. However, there's a second stage. When Muslims are strong enough to fight defensively, they're encouraged to, and the Quran gave explicit permission for this. Chapter 22, verses 39 through 40 of the Quran say permission to fight is given to those upon whom war is made, because they are oppressed. And most surely Allah is well able to assist them. Those who have been expelled from their homes without a just cause, except that they say, our Lord is Allah. If you're being sent out of your home, then sure, why not defend? But then here comes stage 3, when Muslims are in the majority. This chapter of the Quran, chapter 9 of the Quran, is the one that you constantly hear cited when people are talking about the violence in Islam. Chapter 9, verse 5 is the verse that says, slay the infidels wherever you find them and lay siege to them and take them captive. That's chapter 9, verse 5. That's talking about idolaters. This verse, chapter 9, verse 29, is not talking about idolaters. It's talking about Jews and Christians. And it says, fight those who believe not in Allah, nor the last day, nor hold that forbidden which hath been forbidden by Allah and His Messenger, nor acknowledge the religion of the truth. He is now in control of Mecca. He's fought off the polytheists. They're gone. They've been expelled. Or they've been killed. And now you have Muhammad saying, let us fight the Romans. The Romans were considered Christians. The Romans had not attacked the Muslims. They had not come close to attacking. They had not threatened, nothing. Here, Ibn Kathir is making it clear that Allah has now extended the call of Islam to these Jews and Christians, and so they have to be fought if they don't accept Islam. And if they don't accept Islam and they're fought, they either fight till they are killed or until they're subjugated. It's a very interesting battle that happens here. It's actually a battle that doesn't happen. It's called the Battle of Tabuk, T-A-B-O-O-K. Is that these people believe God has sons. Interesting. Fight them because of their beliefs. That's what chapter 9 of the Quran teaches. Ibn Kathir continues. He says, therefore, all people of the world should be called to Islam. If any one of them refuses to do so or refuses to pay the jizya, they should be fought till they are killed. Now, Ibn Kathir is often said by Western Muslims to have been somewhat extremist. He was violent, he's somewhat extremist, he's fundamentalist, whatever epithet they want to use. Problem is, he does the best job explaining what Muhammad said. His explanations are the most coherent. On the flip side, people like Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden, they really highly tout the teachings of Ibn Kathir. He was violent, he's somewhat extremist, he's fundamentalist, whatever epithet they want to use. Problem is, he does the best job explaining what Muhammad said. His explanations are the most coherent. On the flip side, people like Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden, they really highly tout the teachings of Ibn Kathir. They believe that Ibn Kathir had it on the money. And so when those Muslims do what they do, they're doing it on the basis of established commentary. They're not being that radical. They're following people who have been recognized commentators for a long time. Now, Ibn Kathir's social context was very interesting. We don't really have time to go into it, but he was at a point where he thought that the reigning government wasn't being some Wahhabi Muslims. I'll take a quick break here and address that a little bit further. As we have seen, there were 4 schools of Sunni thought. We remember that these came through lines of authority, that early on, certain imams came and established these schools of thought, and then people would kind of choose a school and it would follow down that line of authority. Those schools have begun to dissipate. People are kind of shopping around if they want to, or they're not listening to any of the schools, they're doing their own thing. Why is that, and why now? I have a theory, it's speculative, but I think it fits the data. People have now access to what Muhammad said, what he taught. They have access to spend years and years and years in school. Now they can just go and look it up, and they can see what Muhammad said. They can look up the hadith. They can see for themselves. And because they're doing that, they're no longer following schools of thought. They're going straight to the sources. Well, what happens when they do that? They revert back to an early form of Islam, not these built-up edifices of Islam, early forms of Islam. Well, what are the early forms of Islam called? Well, there's a form of Islam called Salafi Islam, S-A-L-A-F-I, Salafi. The Salafi form of Islam, basically it takes the hadith. In the hadith, Muhammad says that the Salaf will be closest to me in truth, or the Salaf will be closest to Islam. Who are the Salaf? The Salaf are the first 3 generations of Muslims.
MP Rahman praised Taliban. Unfortunate here, the Muslim Law Board in India now praises Taliban. Maulana Sajjan Omani says that Indian Muslims salute Taliban. This comes right after an SP MP Rahman praised the Taliban. Remember, one can only imagine the kind of atrocities that's been carried out in Afghanistan.